Okay, so this week we're going to talk about a musical genre that most people might be wondering, hey, why haven't you talked about this? Since you're a guitar player. I don't think there are any guitar players in the world, no matter what kind of music you play, that would not talk about this musical genre. So it is time. Now that we covered jazz fusion, funk, all that, let's go back a little bit more and talk about where a lot of this comes from, which is the blues. And the reason why I haven't talked about it is because I got into blues at a later stage of my guitar playing. And again, it's one of these styles where I've never really gotten a lot into. Because again, but I have explored it and I have found some amazing music and musicians in there. So in no particular order, because again, I can't remember exactly when I started to get into this and look for guitar players, but I'm just gonna go and mention a few that have obviously been like a big, maybe not necessarily guitar influence, but musical influence in my life. And the first one that I'm gonna mention, and it's not one of the earliest, but this is the first one that I got really exposed to, again, because of guitar magazines, was the unrivaled Stevie Ray Vaughan. If you know guitar, you know who he was. His playing is absolutely fierce, like his singing. When I discovered him, I was like, okay, this is like straight up blues is not my jam, but man, is he on freaking fire. I even got one of his live DVDs too, because I had to see what he looks like when playing live. And dude, this is like a fire breathing dragon performing music in front of you. He's absolutely amazing. And obviously he was a huge legend back then. Sadly passed away. So I really liked, not necessarily again a lot of the music, but I really liked the attitude. That was like, it was so metal and the blues sense maybe. So yeah, big bow to Mr. Steve Ray Vaughan. Another guitar player that I got into, and this one comes from my music teacher, the one we've talked about in previous episodes, the one that was really serious and helped me a lot, and I studied with for a long time. He exposed me to this artist, and actually he lent me one of his instructional videos, which I found like amazing, because the way he phrases his melodies is crazy. And it's funny because at the time I was really like into metal, like full on shredding, and he would just play like the softest lick, little phrase here and there, and I would be like, how can you play like this? Amazing. Mr. Larry Carlton. He's more on the soft side of blues, but man, he as I said, he can phrase on the instrument like no one I've heard. He's amazing. And this instructional video, I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it again. Probably clips on YouTube or something, because I have to watch it again now that I remember some of the stuff I saw. Some amazing phrasing, amazing. Anyway, moving on. Let's go to one of the big ones. Again, something that I discovered along my path due to guitar magazines, and I decided to check it out, and I was like, oh, okay, I can see where this is coming from. Mr. B.B. King. If you go through blues and you're a guitar player, you have to go through B.B. King. He's always been one of the greatest blues guitar players, and his style is his own style. You won't find anybody that sounds like him. And since we're into these kind of players, I have a couple CDs here that somebody gave me of someone who, again, I knew through guitar magazines, but then I listened to him, and he's got his own very personal take on blues again. Buddy Guy, another great guitar player, who does things his very own way. And these are more like traditional, what I call traditional blues guitar players. And because of that, I started to go further back in time, and I got myself again some more like blues CD compilations with various artists. So you have the Holmes Brothers, Muddy Waters, Lightning Hopkins, John Lee Hooker, yeah, Big Mama Thornton. There's a lot of stuff that I started to listen to. I need my glasses. Yeah, a lot of like really old blues, which I like. I do like a lot, even though it's not one of my most prominent musical genres. But I do love these things. So I started to listen to some of that too. And when it comes to more contemporary artists, I have a couple of examples of people who have blown me away. I mean, not that these haven't, these obviously have, but these two artists have surprised me a lot. I'm gonna go through one quickly because he blew me away because of one specific example. And this might again raise some eyebrows. So the first one is John Mayer. I sort of knew who he was when I got introduced to him. I'm like, yeah, it sounds familiar. However, the idea I had of him is like, isn't he like this pop music star or plays acoustic guitar or something like that? One of my really good friends, he's a singer-songwriter. He plays mostly just like acoustic stuff. That's all he does. And he's the one who introduced me to John Mayer. And as I said, I had this idea about him, like, but isn't he sing like pop songs and stuff like that? I think I had heard one or two at some point. And it was really not my thing, not all. He was like, yeah, dude, but wait. So he lent me this DVD. It's a show called Where the Light Is. And he's like, you have to watch this. And I was like, oh, okay. So I brought it home. And he said specifically listen to his blues trio because the show is divided in three. He's got like his acoustic set, the blues trio, and then more of a thing with his whole band. So I listened to the acoustic, a couple of tunes. I was like, yeah, I know what this is. So I skipped to the blues set. And oh my God, I was like, what? I first extremely surprised. I didn't know he was doing this kind of music. And second, I did not know at all that he could play like this guitar. The dude can play. You can have any opinion you want about his music or the other stuff he does, but this man can freaking play blues and guitar. I was blown away by this show specifically, to the point where I went out and bought it because, geez. And since then, I've been keeping an eye on everything he does, just out of like, the man can play. And then the second one, it's an artist, and he has a band too. Who's been around for a while. Again, I got to him through guitar magazines. That's how I heard of him. So I had to check him out. Oh my God, his band absolutely blew me away. His music is so good. I'm just going to introduce him because I don't find any other words, anything I can say about him. And it's Mr. Derek Trucks. Especially if you like slide guitar playing. Oh boy. I was completely blown away by his stuff. His music is so good. So well written. It's just awesome. So yeah, go check them out. And one last honorable mention, just because I have this here, it was part of the batch. And it's a guitar player that I don't even know if he's still around or not, but when he came out, he made a good entrance, and he was very young, Mr. Kenny Wayne Shepherd. So I got the CD because I saw, I think, a music video of one of his songs, and I really liked it, so I went and I got the CD, and he can play too. And there's many other artists that I could have gotten into, but I don't have like actual CDs from them or stuff to show. But I think when I have over here in the rock section somewhere Eric Gales, who's an incredible guitar player. He's more on the rock side of, but it's very blues rooted what he does. So his music is awesome. Maybe we went over him in other video because I really love his stuff. Anyway, that's it. Again, blues is another genre that I don't have a lot of, but that has become an important part of my guitar playing, especially because, I mean, being a rock musician, it comes from this. So you gotta know your stuff. And that's it. I'm gonna leave it at this, and next week we're gonna go into a little bit of different territory, because we're gonna talk about music that has become a huge influence in me that has nothing to do with guitar, because I do a lot of other stuff too. So I'll tell you about that next week. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Bye.